Well, hello there, everyone. This is, I believe, video number 7. Okay. And so it's step number 4. Step number 4 is solder male connector to board. Okay, so solder male connector to the board. So let's zoom in here. Okay, you can kind of see that. That's the male connector, and the positive is on the bottom. So we're going to connect. Okay, so we want to connect the positive wire, which is the red wire, to the bottom right hand corner, which on the other side of this being the regulator, the buck converter, on this side over here it says out negative, but remember this is out positive. This is in positive and that's out positive. Even though it says out negative, that says out negative too, but that's in negative up on the top up here, that's out negative. This is in positive over here, that's in positive over there, out positive over there, down here on the bottom left hand corner, which is now, I'm going to turn it around, is now the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so in positive on this side and out positive on this side. So we're gonna solder that up in a second. This is already tinned. We tinned this and we tinned this, and these wires on the JST connector are already tinned because they come that way, so they should be easy to plug them in or to solder them on. But I did want to say this one thing. I desoldered the connection for the battery and one connection, the positive wire for the battery, and then I wrapped it around the black wire. And I just wanted to tell you guys that when you wrap your wires, it looks a lot nicer. It feels a lot nicer. Okay. Alright, so hold on, I'm going to get ready to solder onto this. Okay. Alright. I'm going to put a little bit of solder on my soldering iron. Let's see if we can get it as far back as possible to try and zoom in a little bit. Alright, you guys see that? You guys can see that? Okay, trying to bend my hand funny to be able to get that on there. Okay, so we got the red on there, and now we put the black on here. Alright, awesome. So our positive from our positive from our battery clip comes in here, and our positive going out to our male JST connector is on the bottom. They're both on the bottom. Okay, there we go. So we got this thing all hooked up. Now all we have to do is first thing we're going to do is we're going to well, okay, I'll tell you about it. Okay, but we're getting close to being done with this part of the board, and then very soon we're going to have to make this part that has the 3 LED lasers on there, and the heat shrink tubing, and the female JST connector. Let me see, positive, positive, negative, negative. There we go. Okay, hold on. Okay, now this is the JST connector. You can kind of see it, the JST connector. This is the female JST connector. You can see it's the female. You can see down the side there. Okay, and the ends here are tinned and stripped, but it's not stripped far enough. So this is step number 5. Strip ends on JST female. So we gotta strip the ends on the JST female, and we're gonna strip it about a ½ inch or a centimeter. There you go. You can see how long that is. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the black one. About a ½ inch or a centimeter. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. And next thing we need to do is plug in the female JST connector to male JST connector. Okay, there's the male, there's the female. Okay, black's on top, red on bottom, red on bottom. Okay, so at least they're, you know, pointing towards each other. Oh man, is this one messed up? I hope not. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now let me see. So on our switch, if you push it in, it's on. If you let it come out, if you push the blue thing in on the switch, if you push it in, it's on. If you let it out, it's off. Oh god, we're still recording. Sorry. Okay, so in is on and out is off. So we want it out right now. We want the switch out right now, because you got to listen to this. This is very important, people. If we plug in our battery, and we plug it in the wrong way, you see how, you know, the small side right here fits in the large side, and the large side right here fits on the small side right here. So you got to make sure that you get that right, and you need to have your switch off. Okay, because if you accidentally turn it around and you touch the small one to the small one and the big one to the big one, and your switch is on, then that will mess up the regulator, and then the whole thing won't work. And so then you have to replace the regulator, which is one of the reasons why it's good that you guys are buying hopefully 10 of these regulators, or five of these regulators, you know, so that if you mess up something, you can replace it. So, and that's the reason why it's good that you're getting 10 LEDs, because if you mess up one of the LEDs or more, or one of the LEDs has lines or smudges on it, or LEDs, the lasers, then you don't want that. Okay, so we're gonna turn it around, and our switch is off right now. So even if we did touch it accidentally the other way, it wouldn't hurt the system, but that's because the switch is off. Okay, so the switch is off, and so we're going to put our small one inside the big one, and the big one over here inside the small one over there, or on the small one over there. Okay, there we go. So as it's supposed to be. Okay, and we're leaving the switch off for right now. Okay, there's my 2 wires. Now we need to get out the multimeter. Hold on. Okay, here's the multimeter again. Oh, I need to put it on I need to put it back on 20. see up here it says 20. Well, right here it says 20 volts. And what we're going to be looking for on here when we're doing our adjustments is we're going to be looking for 3 volts. So that's going to be 3.00. Okay, so we'll do that in a second. But first off, you put your red wire in the one, oh geez, you can't even really see what it says. Maybe if I push it back here, can you see it better? It says volts, ohms, milliamps. And that should be a positive, symbol. Oh, okay, volts, ohms, milliamps. Anyways, the positive goes in there, where it says volts, ohms, milliamps. It's this one. And this one down here says common, and the black one, the negative, goes in where it says common down here at the bottom. Okay, this one over here, this one on the top says 10 amps DC. It's a 10 ADC, 10 amps DC. Do not plug your thing into that one. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to teach you everything about how to use a multimeter, but I'm teaching you right now how to be able to read the voltage. To read the voltage. Derp. Hey Yoda. Okay, we got our 2 things plugged in. Okay, negative black goes in the common, and red positive goes in the volts, ohms, milliamps. And do not hook it up to this one that says 10 ADC. ADC means amperage DC. Do not hook it up to that one. Okay, and yeah, like I said, over here we're going to, oh, it's already zoomed in as much as it can be. Okay, over here we have it turned to 20. You can't see it, but that's the number 20. As long as the thing that you have it hooked up to is above 3 volts. So this is 20 volts. Yours may be a 30 or 50 or something like that, but most likely it's going to be a 20. So turn it to 20 or turn it to whatever number is above 3 volts, but try to keep it as close to 3 volts as possible. So 20, there's this one right here, it says 2000 millivolts, which is actually 2 volts. So that's 2 volts and that's 20 volts. So we can't do 2 volts because the meter will go overload. It'll say OL because it'll be too much voltage. It'll be too high for it. So don't put it on 2. This is 0.2 volts. That's 2 volts. A fancy way of saying 2 volts. That's 20 volts. That's 200 volts. That's 1,000 volts. But put it on the 20, or at least something that's above 3 volts. Okay. So gonna turn this on. Actually, I just got 1 minute left. Okay, I'm going to come back with number 8, and we're going to start with multimeter stuff.